On New Year's Eve, CHCH, bring it back, the glitz, the glam for our favorite New Year's special. Countdown 2025 will be live in studio right beside us. It's getting bigger and better each year. This year, with the legend, the host with the most. It's everybody's boyfriend, George Stroumboulopoulos. And listen, I'm beyond thrilled as a mentor to me, and that is true, and as a friend to have you on our red couch.
It's exciting to be here with you.
Because, I don't know, we saw you, the red chairs that were on the hour, that were on the Stroumbo show, so it's, man, this is really cool. When it was announced, I was just like, no way!
This is so fun. This is not the first time him and I have been on a line together.
No, that is true.
We played hockey together, too.
Yeah, I think we have a couple pictures.
Do we really?
Yeah, we go back a little bit. Look at the Chart Attack hat.
Ah, look at us.
There we are. We're just young pups there, huh?
Just babies. We're over 20 years now with that team.
And it was so cool because you were
look at us.
You were a mentor to me and a hero to me and what you were doing, and then I got to play hockey with you and get to know you and get to know who you are.
Well,
and it was really cool.
I used to watch your old TV show, and I remember when I first met you at the rink, I was so excited because I was watching your. I wanted to be an architect when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
Then I failed the classes required to become an architect, and I got kicked out of art class. So I used to watch structures. I loved that
it was
show.
That was like my first gig back on cable access.
Anyway, so good to see you, bro.
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. I'm excited to be doing
So spending time all over the place. You're down south, up here,
yeah,
right?
I'm moving around. I follow the food, but also I never wanted to live a life where I was just in one place. So the more I can squeeze, it's that great line from Tom Waits, trying to squeeze all this life out of a lousy 2-day pass. That's kind of what I've been trying to do in my life and my career.
What are you finding when you're down south and looking up at us? Or even like, are you getting a grasp of what they think of us down there when you look up? Like, do you miss being home? Yeah.
Yeah, I miss Toronto all the time. I miss Toronto all the time. I miss being home all the time. But I've been bouncing around for so long that no matter where I go, I'm always going to be the guy from my neighborhood. I'm always going to be a Rexdale Malton kid, always. Yeah. So I never feel like I'm too far away from it. Plus, everybody I know, like my family has never come to any other city to visit me except for Toronto. Yeah. Right? So to me, Toronto will always be the place for sure.
Dude, we're so pumped to have you for Countdown to 2025. And what a lineup. Like you know these guys too. You know like everybody that's involved.
I was just thinking about how I remember when all these artists started. And I remember interviewing Bedouin outside of the Opera House in Toronto.
Bedouin Sound Clash, for anybody that doesn't know.
When they were an opening band for another show, the Soledad Brothers, and I was doing a punk show on Much Music at the time. DFA 1979, Death from Above, I knew Chris Taylor, who started the label that signed them. I remember the very beginning of that, and Basha Bulat, who's playing, when she was a teenager, she used to come to the radio station I worked at, and her brother was in a punk rock band that I used to play on the radio. So to me, one of the reasons I became very excited about doing this was that it felt like all the artists are really important artists in this province, really important artists in this community. So it's just really nice to be a part of it with them. Plus, I don't think I've done a New Year's Eve show since I DJ'd a night on Y2K. I think that's the last time I've done a New Year's Eve show.
Oh, remember that?
Yeah. So,
you were counting down. You're like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, totally. So it's been a long time.
Was it on the edge? Would that have been on the edge those days?
It was on the edge, yeah. It was on the edge those days. And last year I was in the States for New Year's Eve, and I was thinking, man, I wish there weren't many shows left. There was no place to do a New Year's Eve show, except my boy Rick Campanelli was doing one here, which I thought was great. And I was like, yeah, good. Rick's got the only New Year's Eve show in Canada. That's great. And then they called me and said, do you want to do it this year? I went, yeah, I'll do that.
Obviously, you're going to add your own flair to it.
Yeah.
Bring your boyfriend mentality.
Well, one of the great crimes of my life, buddy, is I can't not be me, right? I am truly myself all the time, and whenever I try to pretend to be somebody else, it doesn't work. So yeah, it'll just be me regardless of how it plays out.
So there'll be music, there'll be chats, there'll be fun.
Yeah, but mostly just keeping it moving. I know that these are great bands, and I think this is a different kind of New Year's Eve show. When you get to the end of a year, we've listened a lot. There's been a lot of talk. Everybody's telling you how they feel. We're really in emotional times, right? Sometimes to sit back and ring in the new year with great songs, that's what I find really exciting about this, is that it's just great bands playing great music, and it's pretty rock and roll.
Yeah. And it happens on New Year's Eve. We're super pumped to have George Stroumboulopoulos, Death from Above 1979. And you say Basha Bulat?
Basha Bulat.
And then
her brother was in a band called I think 2 minutes too late. Yeah.
And then Bedouin Sound Clash. What a lineup, and it's happening right next door to us in the studio right there.
Dude, this is where Hilarious House of Frightenstein.
So this is not in this building, but in this station. This station. There is so much history. We just celebrated. 2024 is huge for this station because we celebrated 70 years.
It's an important station, man. Independent media in a world of massive conglomerations. This is pretty special.
Yeah, and to have you is.
And we're here in Victoria, right? I think we're here in Victoria on New Year's Eve, which will be fun.
And to have you is pretty awesome.
When are you going to come and play?
This is cool. That's the thing. I moved, so I got to come back and play. He's 9 goals. He's a goal away from 10.
9 goals in 20 years, Tim. 9 goals in 20 years.
He's a game away from 150 games.
I haven't scored. I didn't start skating till I was in my 30s. So when I joined that team, I had never skated.
Yeah, but he doesn't. But you put the effort in.
I try.
Dude, awesome.
What a present, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Okay.
You too.
We'll see you. We'll see you New Year's Eve. Right here, CHCH. Countdown to 2025. Look at that young face.
Oh my God, Britney Spears. I'll tell you a story about that off air. Wow.